Welcome to tea time. We're on Wednesday today, not Tuesday, but I'm here in Belgium, and I thought that I would share with you a little bit of the sound of the waterfall behind me. It's a beautiful evening if you look up in the sky. It's kind of dark. It's Wednesday, so as usual, I'm a little bit late, at a different time. I'm not sure if anybody will join me live, but I'll post this later on YouTube, so if you want to watch later, it will be there as well as on my Patreon page. So today, I had a really interesting day. I have a good horse friend named Chekhov, who I get to see every time I come to Belgium, and he's a very complicated character. So Chekhov is interesting because he's lovely and kind and gentle and sweet until he's not. And he's just really big. And so there have been times when I have been working with Chekhov where it feels like everything's going really well and then it's not. And he's the kind of horse that doesn't seem to give you a whole lot of warning between when things are going well and when things are not going well. And so I find him endlessly fascinating. Every year that I come back to Belgium, he is absolutely better than he used to be. But he's not an easy horse. Some horses just aren't. And, you know, as much as I love freedom-based training, there are things I'm still learning. Absolutely things I'm still learning. So today, I started a little conversation with Chekhov, and I was getting more wrong than I was getting right. And that meant that every time I picked a position to be in harmony with him, he got irritated. And he didn't like the flies, he didn't like where his friends were standing, he didn't like the hay he was eating. And there started to be a pattern where it wasn't really so much about the things he was irritated about as the fact that it happened every time I stepped into harmony. And I started to realize that his irritation was, yes, all those things, but it was also about me. It was about my feel, it was about my timing. Hi, Hannah. Thank you for coming and joining me for tea time. So, you know, I don't give up easily. I'm pretty determined. And so I asked my host here if I could spend the day with Chekhov. I figured he had something to teach me. And I proceeded to spend the next 4 hours really getting it wrong. To my credit, I was trying to sort out an issue, and I really wanted to solve the puzzle. And really the reason you're going to have trouble with a horse is because you try and do too much too soon. Hey Sal, welcome to tea time. So here I was working with Chekhov. I decided to spend the day with him, and it was clear I was doing too much too soon, but I couldn't figure out what I was doing that was too much. I was trying all my supportive leadership tactics. I was trying all the different distances. I was doing everything I thought I knew how to do, but it wasn't working. Chekhov was not getting better, he was getting worse. And that was really interesting to me. I mean, it was embarrassing also. I mean, I think I'm pretty good at this stuff, and then I meet the occasional horse who says, Elsa, you need to do better. So here I was having this long conversation with Chekhov. Every position I chose to be in harmony seemed to lead to more irritation for him instead of more harmony. And it took me a really long time. It actually took me almost 4 hours before I figured out what I was doing wrong. And now that I see it, it seems obvious. Of course. Why didn't I see it in the first hour? And the answer is I don't know. I don't know why I missed it. I think I was so focused. You see, Chekhov has an issue with holding his feet up for the trimmer when she needs to trim his hooves. And I kind of wanted to figure that out. He's pretty lovely for his owner. He doesn't give her a lot of trouble. He seems to enjoy it. So what was the missing link? Anytime you have trouble with a horse, it's because you've tried to do too much too soon. I couldn't figure out what I was doing that was too much too soon. And it turned out that it really was the timing. You see, normally when a horse starts to think, they start to be more aware, they start to look around, they will start to feel, sorry, Shift wants to join us. Shift, are you going to join us? Shift would really like me to throw his ball. It's tea time, Shift. I'll throw your ball afterwards. So I was trying to figure out what was going on with Chekhov's hooves, why he was so good for his owner but not for me or the hoof trimmer. What was the difference? And I was so focused on that goal. I was so focused on working through it that I failed to see the lack in my timing. And that was when Chekhov becomes more aware, usually the first thing that happens is he becomes more aware of something that irritates him. The other horses, the flies, that the food he's eating is not the food he wants, whatever it is. And I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out. So freedom-based training is really about predicting the future, predicting what's going to happen next. So if I go into harmony at the exact moment Chekhov is about to become more irritated, the next thing that's going to happen, it's pretty clear, is he's going to storm off. He's going to walk away from me because then he associates me with feeling irritated and he doesn't want to be around me. You repeat this for 4 hours, it only gets worse. So, you know, I do these long sessions because, you know, maybe I only have a day to work with Chekhov before I go off and do my clinic. And I really wanted to learn something from him. So I kept at it and I kept thinking, what am I doing wrong? I would walk around, I would look for a place of harmony. I would think, why do I think this is a good time? And then I would try it. And then Chekhov would say, nope, you're wrong again. So I would try again. It finally occurred to me how to change the timing as I sort of got into hour number 4. Maybe it was hour number 5, if I'm honest. And I realized that I needed to change the timing. And so I started going into harmony when Chekhov was the most frozen, when he was really sleepy and steady. And I waited for him to wake up. And I knew once he woke up, I only had a moment before I could get moving again, because he was going to go from waking up to being irritated with something. And it was really important that I not get associated with that irritation. So that's what I did. And from that point on, our relationship got better and better and better and better. And then by the end, I figured out some other really key things that I completely missed in the beginning about touch and about how touch impacts him and about some different ways to touch him. So I did a bunch of videos. Hopefully that'll all be on my Friday video this week on Patreon. And gosh, I'm feeling a whole lot smarter thanks to Chekhov. I'm feeling like I really was a little slow to pick up on the learning and the education he needed to give me. But little by little, you know, the horses are going to teach me. And I have a very cute dog here who's determined, You're determined that I need to throw the ball for you? Yes? Is that true, Shift? So I'm going to wrap up this tea time and throw the ball for Shift for a few minutes and meditate on everything I've learned today. It's a lot. I gave you a little piece of it. There should be more in the Friday video that I post on the Patreon group. And I'm learning all the time. Every horse is a little different. The theory applies to all of them, but how we apply the theory really has to be unique to the horse. If it's going to get better, be in harmony with them. If it's going to get worse, get moving. Try something else. And keep working through that until you figure out how you know, is it going to get better? And how you know, is it going to get worse? All right, I'm glad you enjoyed that, Florentine, and I'll talk to you all next Tuesday. Hopefully I'll be on time next week. And here's to tea time and learning from our horses every day in any way we can.